Hello and welcome. You are listening to episode 67 of the Nearly Men Video Games Podcast, coming to you live on Twitch from Scotland on Thursday, 9th of July 2020. I am Colin Little, and joining me today is Paul Kaczynski.
Hello.
And Gary Hogg-Simmons.
Hello.
And we are the Nearly Men. We have nothing to do with the video games industry. We don't make them. We don't sell them. We're not even particularly good at them. We are the Nearly Men, and at some point you have probably kicked our asses online.
Kaboom!
Boom! And
Good
the Lord
evening.
said, let there be Nearly Men.
Covered in Nearly Men we were.
Hello everybody out there. Hello, my fellow Nearly Men. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Good. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. I have to send my apologies for missing the last episode. I had a bit of an internet problem, and I'm certainly holding one man responsible, a man who spent the majority of the late 90s, early 2000s in a hot air balloon. Maybe if he'd spent less time doing that, maybe more time fixing his internet infrastructure, I would have been here. I would have been here. Anyway,
Do you know that man was in Superman Returns?
You very nearly gave that man's name away.
I did, yes. It was on my mind.
I did not know that man was in Superman Returns.
Do you remember in Superman Returns where Superman, the big plane sequence?
Paul, nobody remembers Superman Returns.
Brendan Routh was a good Superman. He's the pilot of the... He's either the pilot of the wee space shuttle or the plane. I think it might be the plane he's the pilot of. There you go.
The only bit I remember from Superman Returns is when a bullet bends and flattens against his eyeball.
Aye. That was good.
That was cool, but
That was very cool.
The rest of it,
That either. I just remember an island or a boat or maybe both. I don't know.
Both, yes, both.
I just remember Kevin Spacey having the best trade set ever. That's about all I remember. We're not really allowed to talk about him anymore.
No, he's cancelled.
Good, and rightly so.
Yep.
Anyway, how are we all doing? How are we doing?
Good, thank you.
Good. I'm I'm a wee bit fear. I am a little bit nervous. For anyone that caught our Sea of Thieves stream last night, it was I've now got a new nickname. It's no longer the Maestro. I'm now Captain Shambles.
Captain Shambles.
There was a couple of high points. I'm sure we'll get to them later on, but I think one of the best was me falling off my own ship at one point.
A number of times. Not just the once. It was a number of times.
Multiple times just fell off my ship. I don't know why. Just did. That was good. Yeah, that was good. Original Stephen agrees. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sort of delaying the inevitable because I can just watch the sweat dribbling.
You can keep talking, Colin. Honestly, you can
Dribbling.
talk as long. You know, I'm always one for bringing up how much you talk, Colin. But see tonight, you just go to town, mate. You just go ahead. Tell us everything you need to tell us. What have you been doing today, Colin?
I will need to talk later on to try and drag us back from the brink of cancellation after a little something happens. Now, now, all you folk out there, we are nothing if we are not hugely appreciative of our wonderful Nearly Men community. And actually, there's a couple of things that we have promised you guys, and tonight we're going to give back to you. Okay?
Beautiful.
Before
we give back to you, we're going to take it away.
So later on, we've got a special announcement. I know a lot of you are going to be very excited about it. But the other thing that the people really, really wanted was to hear the producer rap. Now, there's a couple of caveats to that. For those of you who were on Monday's birthday stream, we had an amazing night. We got a massive raid. We had a hype train. We got, I think it was 11 or 13. I think it was 13 new subs, right?
Yeah.
So the already gargantuan producer rap subsequently got a few extra verses added.
I'd like to say, I think when this was proposed, I think we had something like 17 subscriptions, and now we're at 36, I think.
So if that keeps going, we're going to actually be able to get ourselves nice like proper gold medallions and stuff for future. Like we'll be able to afford them. Anyway, we're delaying the inevitable. So, ladies, I don't know how much of an introduction you need here.
Let's kind of drop it off. Just drop it off. Okay. I want to say a couple of things. One, like I've said to you guys, I'm worried that it's not going to be in sync right now because rap is not my forte, as we all know. What? But I can. One thing I can do is keep time.
The least of your worries, mate.
I can keep time, and I know a beat, right? So if it's off, what I'll do is let me know, and I'll put up a proper video of it, right? If it's off, I don't think it's going to be off, but if it is, I'll put up a proper video. And the second thing is, I think I'm going to be sick.
Good. Right. Okay. Well, why don't you give yourself a little moment, a little 8 Mile moment to?
I keep forgetting it. I've practiced this a number of times, and every time I go and do it, I forget something new. So I'm just saying that. Good. I'm reading it as well. I'm reading it.
That's good. Good. Right. Well, why don't you just puke in a horrible club toilet or whatever Eminem does in that film? I'll be Mekhi Phifer. Or his type of character, I guess. I don't know. We're drifting into dangerous waters here. Yep. Anyway, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen out there, you asked for it. We are supplying it. I have no idea what we're about to see. I'm gonna have to mute my own mic so I don't laugh. But I give you the producer rap.
Here we go. Nearly Man, live on Twitch. Me doing rap is nothing but a little bitch. Some clown thought it'd be clever, but is Kaczynski cool enough to carry rap? Never. So I gotta list the cool cats and canaries who sub to the channel. The quality varies from Antonio 535 Pro to producing Royal Majesty Nat Pacino. But wait, the list is a great big whopper. Jabrias, Luke Boogie, and Totana Dancing Toaster, Wobble 362er, and the man who brings the numbers. Yo, it's Shumba. Who's next? Who can say? Maybe it's Venom, MDK, LYPT, Enemy Who, Sherry Bobbins, John Rocks. Who knows? Why not you? Hey, my friends, make sure you're keen, cause the list continues with Heza Beam. Then there's Daybreak, and then Baker Boy. There's Seggy67 and a pile of joy. We won't be forgetting T-Crew 87, but Moondrum or Niven 1987. Brother Jacob is in the house. Don't piss off Bell, or she'll put you in the doghouse. But don't worry, someone's got your back. I'm talking Bri 2208. He'll take the flak. Original Steven, come on, say hello. There's Vodkin, Hosey Keenan, Arcade Glasgow, Andy McGee, 303, Gavin the Laugh, yo, who the F he? Kimmer Smith, and Ride or Die. A wrong G-spot, did I read that right? Those are the ones that make it happen. Support the channel, make it toe-tapping. So if you're wishing to dish out the blame, hey, don't look at us, we already know we're lame. But please keep on, keeping on, cause we're so grateful for the love you keep bringing on. I gotta end now, but wipe away your tears, cause someone's clipped this to watch for years and years. Boom! Yeah! Oh my days.
Can I just say that we apologise to a host of communities.
That was phenomenal. That was written in a day.
Woo, P Crazy in the house says Original Steven.
Oh, thank God that's over. Thank God that's over.
Do you know, Paolo, that was very good actually. That was I mean it wasn't rap. I don't know what it was.
No.
It was very good.
It was very PJ and Duncan.
It was when I was doing it, all I could think of was the Family Guy clip that talks about Will Smith doing his safe rap, his family friendly rap. So there you go. So that was essentially, it was Gary Hogg and Nat Pacino. It's your fault that had to happen, and I'm done. I'm out. I've done it.
No. So thank you for the bits out there, everybody. Thank you, Original Steven, Wee Maverick, Sherry Bobbins, Nat Pacino. Thank you. Oh my God, there's a hype train.
Hype train during the podcast. That's
good. Okay, Paolo has set off a hype train. For people on the podcast, this will be confusing, right? You'll just have to Google it. Hype train indeed. So, Daybreak says, who next? Well, right, I don't know. Maybe we should put a poll in the chat. And find out which one between me and Gary, who's up next. Oh my goodness.
So
Nat Pacino setting off that hype train after everyone got it all set up, and Nat Pacino's cheers also shared some lovely pride emotes with people in the chat as well.
Yay!
So lovely. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support. Paolo, I have to say, that was considerably better than I thought it was going to be.
Agreed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I actually got it right as well. Yes, more or less.
Yeah, Bryce says there. So Blunder Boy or Captain Shambles, right? So we can get that poll going for whenever.
Can I ask Paul before we go on? Why were you pink?
I just wanted something that didn't look like this. Anything at all. I can in my mind I wanted it some kind of like poster print thing going on, but I didn't have the time. I was too busy writing a rap.
Yeah. I think he just wanted to hide his blushes.
Exactly. Oh my days. Right, there you go. Your poll's up.
Can I vote in this poll? Because I know who I'm voting for.
I've already did it. Thanks very much.
Oh, you son of a... Right. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. We've got stuff to do. So, for everybody out there, we are, of course, the Nearly Men. And if you want to make the producer rap even longer for either Blunderboy or myself, all you have to do is subscribe to the Nearly Men channel. If you subscribe, you will become a producer of the podcast. You'll get your name read out. We'll read the names out at the end, but you'll also be part of the wonderful producer rap. Well, I say that one was wonderful. You'll be part of whatever me and Gary come up with. It probably won't be quite as wonderful. But yeah, you can produce, and it helps the supporters as well. It's the best way to support your streamers. So if you want to do that, that's what to do. And of course, the podcast can only survive with things to talk about and when we hear from all you wonderful people. And to find out how to do that and how you can get us in touch with us, well, this is how you do it.
Reaching the Nearly Men is easier than ever. Search for the Nearly Men Video Games podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or your preferred podcast player. We stream on Twitch. Follow Colin at Colin_NM. Follow Paul at Paul Kaczynski, all one word. Follow Gary at Blunderboy87. And let's get social on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram where we are at Nearly Men, or go old school and email us on info@thenearlymen.com. Need all that again? Links are on our website, thenearlymen.com. So what are you waiting for?
So what are you waiting for? Right, boys. So we're going to move on to the news, and we've only really got a couple of subjects today, but this is quite an important one, I think. Now, this is going to be referring to The Last of Us 2. We are going to endeavour to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. We're not
likewise on the chat, Yeah,
so also in the chat, please don't mention anything directly on spoilers, okay? This is more about an actor than anything else. Basically, The Last of Us Part 2's Laura Bailey getting death threats over Abby role. This story comes from Forbes. It was written by Paul Tassi. I have amended this story ever so slightly to take out some of the more spoilery stuff. You can go and read the article if you're not worried about spoilers. We're going to keep it as spoiler-free as we can, but I think it is an important issue and we want to discuss it. While there's been a very vocal contingent of so-called The Last of Us Part 2 fans angry about Abby's role in the game, some of that venom has spilled over into real life. The actress who plays Abby in the game, Laura Bailey, posted some screenshots of messages she's been getting, which include violent threats against herself and her family. It is both scary and bizarre, as most of the messages are acting like Bailey actually is Abby, the character she plays in the video game. Bailey, an actress, did not even have a role writing her character. Not that the writers should be threatened either, but the entire thing is just awful and incredibly dumb. One good thing that has come out of it, however, is a massive influx of support from Bailey, a fantastic actress who has voiced characters like Kate Diaz, in Gears 5, Mary Jane and Spider-Man, Black Widow, Catwoman, Supergirl, Chun-Li, Akali, dozens and dozens and dozens of characters. Her initial harassment tweet has been retweeted 28,000 times at the time of writing, and she followed up with a thank you message for the support. I mean, this is I am not surprised, because I am literally not surprised with anything that seems to happen now on the online world.
Mm-hmm.
It is ludicrous, but this is embarrassing. I don't.
It's weird. Did this not happen with something else a while back? I'm sure someone got death threats for a character they played, and you're like, "Hello."
Well,
in fact,
I mean,
do you know the Scottish actor Tamdene Byrne was stabbed because somebody thought he was a gangster.
Yeah.
And the Scottish soap River City, he was a gangster. Someone actually thought he was a gangster and stabbed him. I mean, that's just mental.
Stabbed him in the neck as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Tam has fully recovered since, but yeah,
Hadn't
absolutely.
heard that. That's good. Yeah, this is mental. This is beyond crazy. Do you know what I mean?
It's now we are not sharing the tweets. They are out there. They are horrific. And they're only a small snapshot. But there's various things wishing that she gets terrible diseases, that her family are killed, various things like that. It's horrific stuff. Threatening sexual violence, threatening all sorts of stuff to her. And it's honestly, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I know Neil Druckmann's had a number of threats over the game. The directors had threats. It's ludicrous.
Yeah.
The response to it, and I mean, it's just absolutely chaos. And this is not uncommon. This is not uncommon at all. I think the only thing that makes this even more, we're talking about this one in particular, is just because it's the latest one.
Yeah.
We were talking about this the last episode about the sort of way that certain people, particularly women, have been treated in the video games industry, and it just doesn't surprise me. There's just a whole load of dudes, a whole load of bros that seem to think that is an appropriate response to a video game that you maybe don't like, or
a video game, man. A video game.
It's that sort of sense of entitlement. We saw the same sort of thing with the more recent Star Wars films. It's all these various petitions. I see some idiots were trying to get petitions to get The Last of Us 2 remade. There's been some really nice. Lots of waves of support for Laura Bailey. The Last of Us, Neil Druckmann himself put up a bunch of stuff to stand up for Laura, obviously. The game director has as well. I mean, there's hundreds of stuff, but I'm just utterly dismayed. Every time this happens, I just sort of shake my head at it.
Yeah. It's hard to believe. I love how much Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann and all that have supported it and press released and all that kind of stuff. Just essentially just held it up and went, look at these fools. Do you know what I mean? It's bizarre. It's a bizarre world that I can't understand at all. It's a fictional thing. It's a fictional thing.
It's insane, because I saw a while back. I think when Last of Us 2 was just out. Maybe like the first week off, and it's before this stuff all properly happened. But Naughty Dog or Neil Druckmann quote tweeted, I can't remember which way around it was. I'm sure it was him quote tweeting, and basically he was saying that love and respect for our fans does not equal pandering to them. You're writing art. Art has to be divisive. It has to be. You cannot please everybody at any point.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to just, I don't know, I get the impression that some of these idiots just wanted The Last of Us 1 remade, essentially. And that was never what they were going to do. They were definitely going to tell a different story. And the fact that everyone keeps calling it some sort of like the amount of uses of SJW and the replies to it just embarrasses me. I don't know why you would be bothered about. Surely you want to see new stories told. You want to see characters who you maybe have never heard of or whatever. I can't fathom it.
No.
What was your take on it, Gary?
So I kind of last week on Twitter when I'd seen it, I tweeted out just saying it's ridiculous that people are being threatened over fictional characters and fictional situations which never took place, and it's just like I was like, gamers, what are you doing? And it's just when you go into the comments, it's not just guys, there's women, and the comments for the women, and I can't mention what they were talking about because it's a spoiler for a scene, but like Laura Bailey was like clapping back and saying, I didn't do the motion capture. Like whatever she said, it was like that this world that people build in their head about things that are unreal. You're like, what are you doing? It's just it totally baffles my brain that grown adults cannot make a distinction between make believe and the real world, and even worse when it's a video game in the real world. Sure, if it's film or TV, and you've got people who can't see make the distinction, you maybe get that because it's actual physical people. Yeah. But when it's something that's been digitally created in a computer, I'm like, and I go, it baffles my brain. I'm like, why can't?
Yeah.
It's when it's grown people, and then when you go in their profile, because I'm that person who's like, oh, and who are you? And it's pictures, and it's pictures of them but normal pictures of them with normal lives. I'm like, you look pretty normal. How do you not realize that that's make believe? You normal looking person. It's just I don't.
And you look at their pictures and think, yeah, your daughters must be awful proud of you, or your wee kid must be awful proud of you, or it's wild. It's absolutely wild. I mean, and again, it makes it in that it says in the article, and it does, and in no way does this mean that you should be having a go at the writers, but actors don't make those decisions at all. So if you're annoyed at certain decisions or something like that happens in a game, I suppose it would be different if you thought her performance wasn't good. But even then, it doesn't give you the right to go and give somebody abuse.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's something someone's created, whether it's an actor, a writer, or whatever. It's someone that's telling a story, and it's their story, whether it's the right thing to do or not. It's their intellectual property. They can do with what they want. It's like, do you know? The Star Wars thing comes to mind again as well, and it's a bit like, well, that's what the film they wanted to make. It's not. They're not making it for you. They're making it however they want to make it. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's so beyond my level of understanding that I will never ever get it. I will never ever get it.
Yeah, I just cannot believe it. I'm loath to talk. We're going to talk about the game in a wee while. We're going to kind of loosely discuss it in a wee while. We will be doing a spoiler cast, possibly sometime around the next episode of the podcast.
Whenever I finish it.
Sometime around December.
I'm going as quick as I can. I'm too busy writing raps.
But Gary and I will be. We both finished the game. We can talk a wee bit more broadly about the game later on. Again, we'll keep it absolutely as spoiler free as possible. For you guys out there and for Paulo. But yeah, I think all it left to say is I thought Laura Bailey was absolutely astonishingly good in the game. I thought she was wonderful, and there is absolutely no way she deserves any of this abuse. Nobody ever does. And you know what? If you don't like your game, go and sit in a corner and have a wee cry, and then put on your big boy pants and grow up.
Yep. Amen to that, brother.
Anyway, now we have...
Just before you move on, Colin.
Yes.
There is a result from the poll.
I was going to avoid that.
It is, I think, with 73% of the vote, was it?
Oh, yes.
It's Captain Shambles doing the next rap in a couple of weeks.
Great. I hasten to add, see, shortly before this, actually, me, Gary, Paulo, a little peek behind the scenes, me and Gary had actually sort of talked about it, and we talked about the fact that actually in the original vote, Gary was going to... was probably next in line anyway, because actually I finished last in the original vote. Paulo was first, Gary was second, and Gary actually sort of agreed with me at the time.
But then you called for a new poll.
And then I called for a vote.
And you must have known you were going to get it being called Captain Shambles these days.
Well, this... Shut up! Oh no! Maybe I could do a pirate rap. Maybe I could.
Well, it's yours to do with what you want. Do you know what I mean?
Oh man, that's
you know,
it.
when I originally started out, I was just going to do a big long list of names wrapped, and then I thought, no, I better kind of make some sort of words to it.
That's
so I mean, it's yours to do what you want to do.
That's the thing. You've set the bar. No, it's like
you set the bar too high, man.
I'm so glad I went first. So glad.
Oh no. Anyway, as if we haven't been giving you guys enough, we have another little announcement for you. I know now. If you guys remembered, when we did save point bonus level, we were hovering near the £1,000 mark, and we decided that if we got to £1,000, we would have a little Twitch Sings party.
Ooh.
Thank you, everyone, for being so patient with us while we tried to get it worked out, while Paolo built himself a singing arena.
I did.
It is my absolute pleasure to let you know that the Nearly Men's Twitch Sings party will be tomorrow night.
Boom!
Boom goes the dynamite.
You can go home, play today. We want duets, don't we?
We do, yes. So tomorrow night, have we got an exact time? What time are we starting? Are we starting? What did you say, Blunder Boy?
So we'll go live at 7 and the singing starts at 7:30 just to let everyone get gussied up and get comfy on the sofa.
Does that mean the drinking starts at 3, 4?
I mean, definitely for me. Definitely for me.
Excellent.
Daybreak has just went, yes! Short notice, Gav. You'll have to get your affairs in order.
It is partly my fault, as Colin says, because where I was, I couldn't do Twitch Sings because I'd wake up my children. I don't know if you've ever seen Lemmy do Twitch Sings, but at that time he must have been right next door to his kid. So he sings everything like that, and he kind of whispers everything, and that's what I'd had to have done. But now I'm cast away, and I can sing to my heart's content down here.
So yeah, so what we do need is if people have Twitch Sings, what to do is, now I don't know the exact specifics of this, but we need you to send duets to the Nearly Men. Is that right?
All you do is you just go and you record half a duet, basically. So if you when you select a song, you can select to start a duet or join a duet or whatever. If you start a duet and pick which part you want to sing, and then let us know we know your Twitch username, but we'll search for you and pick and choose.
So that way you'll get to sing, not really live, but sort of live with the Nearly Men. We might open it up a wee bit later on and get people on, but if you can pre-record some duets, you have 24 hours roughly to do so. And and join us. I'm going to get my nice shirt on, and I'll just be enjoying myself.
Oh, look at this! Keep that going, Carl. Look at that! Keep that going! Come on now, let's see it. Oh. He's got all shy.
Stop it! Save it. Save it for tomorrow. I don't know what.
Don't use it all up.
That's a bit harsh, Gary. That's a bit harsh. So have we got any ideas? Is there a song? Is a song we're dying to sing, boys?
I had a wee look through the list the other day. The problem with me is I'm quite a low singer, so a lot of pop songs are too high for me. But there's a wee handful in there that I could probably do.
Okay.
But I'm not the best.
Has the list been updated lately?
There's a good few in there, yeah.
Daybreak suggests Bo rap.
I'm done with rap. I'm done with rap.
Hello everybody out there. Hello Ride or Die, hello Bri, hello all you, like Gavin a laugh who's gutted he missed the quiz, by the way. Welcome everybody.
Is it a quiz?
I know he's got a quiz on instead. Yeah.
Colin's drunk again. Last night we were accusing Colin of being drunk during the stream.
What did I
drunk
say?
Again.
What did I say?
He said he missed the quiz. I think you meant he missed the rap.
I missed the rap, sorry. His comment was about a quiz. He missed the rap. Apologies.
What I liked was we gave you the chance to correct yourself and you just skimmed over it.
Yeah, I wasn't even listening, mate. I wasn't listening. I was too busy thinking what's next, what we have to do next. Gary, have you got a song that you're planning to sing? Have you got one that's burning within you to sing?
No, I've kind of gone through the things that I've been burning to things, so I need to have a look and I think and plan my outfit accordingly.
See, the thing is now that you're a bit of a Twitch Sings celebrity in our community. The people are going to be crying for songs that they know. You know what I mean? People will be going, "Oh, get Paul to do this or get Colin to do that. I'll be funny," but they'll be going, "Oh, Gary, do's your part of your world or whatever." You know?
Yeah. I do like a bit of Kelly Clarkson. She's my warm-up act.
Oh my!
There we go.
Although I will need to remember to put my limiter on because the first time I did it, I kept blowing the mic, and then I said to Paul, I was like, "Right, how should I put it?" And Paul was like, "Maybe set it at 9." I think you said. So I set it at 9 and I tried it. I have to set it at -21. Like I'm just a loud bitch.
Well, I have nothing to say on the subject.
I was like, "Oh, this is why everyone hears me when I whisper."
Gary's the only person I know that whispers on a stage whisper. Anyway, that's that. So you asked, you have received. We know it's short notice, but Friday night is all right for singing. So join us tomorrow night here on the Nearly Men channel from 7 for a 7:30 start. We will be singing. We'll all be singing some Twitch things, and get your duets ready so we can sing along with you guys.
Oh my!
Now, I believe it is time for some
Cozy's Crumbs.
Yes, indeed, some Cozy's Crumbs. There's only one crumb. It's Cozy's Crumb today.
Oh,
because as we were saying before we started, there was heap to talk about.
Yeah.
The only thing that just kind of jumped out at me was that Dreams, a wee game that we've played a good few times. I've streamed it myself. Dreams is getting VR support on the 22nd of July.
Oh wow.
That's cool.
Which is it's quite cool. Yeah, I mean, I think it was always planned, and I think it might have been planned for launch, but I think months before they launched, they said this isn't going to be ready for launch, so we'll put it down further down the line. But it's great. You can make VR games, or you can make VR sculptures that you can go in and look in VR and go around. And I think there's going to be some kind of templates and existing artwork and things. I think I saw somebody had done the Thinker in Dreams that you can go and you can walk around it and things.
Oh wow! Cool.
It's just it's Dreams is a great wee thing. It's so accessible, and there's so many people who've to be blunt, got the time that they can do things in Dreams, and it scratches a lot of itches for some folk. So it's great to see what they come up with. Some of the games I played in Dream are great fun. They're simple and basic, but it's just that hook. I mean, what was that one? Oh gosh, I can't remember the chap's name now. That's terrible. Oh, but it's Beat Runner is the game.
The jumping one. Oh, yeah. That was infuriating.
Oh. Do you know what I mean? And I sat and played that for about 20 minutes. I thought when he came on the stream and I said, "Yeah, I'll play your game, no worries." I thought I'm going to play this for 5 minutes
I'll
or
play
whatever.
Your game.
It was so infuriating. It was brilliant. Really good. Really good.
Really cool.
So yeah, so VR is just another layer to the Dreams universe. So it's all good. But that's your only crumb, I'm afraid, guys. Sorry.
Sorry, that was a little morsel.
Well, that's what I said to Gary last week, that the crumbs were starting to become news stories. So I'm trying to bring them back down to be wee crumbs again.
Back to little crumbly crumbs.
Indeed.
I have to distract us just for a minute. We're going to go into the freebies in a moment, but Colshare's joined us and says, "Please say I'm not the first person to mention that Paul looks like a younger John Goodman."
Oh
have you heard that before, Paolo?
That's a first. That is a first. I do get a lot of lookalikes, but John Goodman is the first. I'm not offended by it, I have to say. I know why you're thinking it's funny, but I'm not offended by that.
I mean, I remember, well, we've told this story before, but I think it's worth repeating, that at an event one time I was doing a show, and an audience member at the end of it decided to give me a sort of like a little speech of appreciation and kind of handed it to me and said, and looks like a slightly overweight David Tennant. And then proceeded, as everyone else in the room was like, "What?" And I was a bit like, "Oh, thanks, mate." And he was like, "No, but it's just because he's dead skinny." And I was like, "Yeah, it's all right, it's all right."
Oh, jeez.
I didn't eat anything on the way home.
If you're anything Colin Little, it is not overweight.
Well, I don't know. You've not seen me. You've not really seen. You only see me from like the waist up, the chest up. So yes, I can kind of see. I can kind of see the sort of. There's a. Bryce wondering if it's John Goodman at 50.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Anyway, enough of that. Galshire, lovely to have you with us.
Hello.
How about a wee trip down the freebies lane?
Oh, sounds good. Games with gold. Let's get that out of the way. The mouthful of dates. So, till the 31st of July, I've done this in a funny order. Hold on. Till the 15th of July. Till the 15th of July, you're getting Saints Row 2, an action game on Xbox One. That's upgraded from the Xbox 360. Till the 15th of July, you're getting Coffee Talk, which is a visual novel, Xbox One. Coffee Talk's always one that I wonder if I should do for my Sunday social. Till the 31st of July, you're getting a WRC 8, World Rally Championship, I presume that is, driving for Xbox One. From the 16th of July to the 31st of July, you're getting Juju, platformer for Xbox One from the Xbox 360. And 16th of July to the 15th of August, you're getting Drunk Lords, a sports beat-em-up, Xbox One. We were talking about this last week. I think that's essentially basketball where you punch people.
Is it? You said Drunk Lords. Is it Drunk Lords or Dunk Lords?
Dunk Lords. Sorry, I'm already prepared for tomorrow evening.
There was accusations that I was drunk earlier on, and now there's accusations Paolo is as well.
Yeah, indeed, Dunk Lords it is. Yes. On the PS Plus side of things, you're getting 3 games. I think was it the 10th anniversary of PS Plus or something? Is that what it is? You're getting. NBA 2K20, the sports game, which has been, I think, as low as £2.50 in recent times. You're getting that for free.
What a result.
You're getting Rise of the Tomb Raider, action adventure for PS4, and Erika, an interactive fiction on the PS4. Is Rise of the Tomb Raider, is that the one that's got the wee VR section?
Anyone remember? No, I don't think.
It's the third one, isn't it?
The third one, yeah. I think that was the second one.
Okay.
That was in.
So that's your freebies. That's what you're getting.
Pretty good.
No, I think the Tomb Raider is the second one that does have the VR section, I think.
Okay.
The final one's Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, I thought it was Shadow that they were giving away for free. That's rubbish. I've already played that game.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, well.
I mean, if they could just decide if she's risen or not, it seems to be the same in every game. But, yeah.
I just wish they would turn off the shaky cam on it so that I could play those games without vomiting.
Yeah, you don't like that, do you?
I don't know why. It just really affects. There's only a couple of games that happens with those Tomb Raider games and Wolfenstein, the new Wolfensteins, which I'm really gutted about because I love Wolfenstein. I can't play them. I play like 10 minutes off it and I feel like I'm going to vomit. It's really weird. It's the only shoot 'em ups. It's the only games that do it. And the pirate game we were playing last night sometimes makes me feel a wee bit seasick as well.
Well, you're on sea, I suppose, so that's all right.
No, that
kind of makes sense.
That's authentic. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about some games. Games we've been playing. There is one game that we've all been playing in recent weeks. As I said, we are going to keep this spoiler-free. Please keep it spoiler-free in the chat. But yeah, it is The Last of Us Part 2. I finished the game. Paolo's not finished the game yet. Gary has. No. So when we go to you, Gary, would you like to give us a sort of an overall feeling of what you felt about the game?
Yeah. I overall enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable experience. I like the fact they kind of took everything that made the first game great and just added bits to it, like the mechanics. And the fact they opened up the world, the hub areas, so there is a bit more exploration, but it never feels too big. You never feel like, oh, am I going the right way? Am I going the wrong way? The level design's very clever. The story, I'm still conflicted on.
Ooh.
And it's hard to say things without spoiling it. I've seen some really strong tweets to the story, and I'm like, I think that's a bit much. I'm still conflicted in the story. It did have nice few things that kind of caught me off guard, which I liked. And the character development for some characters was good, in my opinion. But no, I liked it. I really get into the combat. If you know me, I was awful at the combat in the first game, and I was always moaning about it. Whereas in this game, I got a bit better. Like, I was pure sniping people, like a pure badass. And I think Daybreak, every time I shot someone, was like, headshot, headshot, headshot. And I was like, oh, yes. So but then next minute, the characters would be like all over the place. And I was like, wait a minute, I was a boss a second ago. So I was kind of a wee bit like conflicted in that. For the most part, it was good. But no, like I enjoyed it. Am I rushing back in to play again? No, but I will play it again. It's a game I'd go back to. I think. But for the most part, it was a positive, but I wouldn't say pleasant experience. And I still prefer fighting monsters to humans all the time.
Okay. Paolo, what about yourself? Let's say we'll go with you just now. Obviously, you've not played the whole game. I would say you're roughly around just past the halfway mark.
That's what I was going to suggest. I thought I might be just past halfway. I mean, I'm loving it. I think the story is really strong so far. I'm really enjoying it. It's doing things that I didn't see coming, and it's doing very, very high drama, which is really nice. I think it's a really high standard of writing.
Mm-hmm.
And the performances are great and all that jazz as well. I just think the structure and the just the script at the moment is just really, really strong, I think. And I'm hoping that continues. I know, Gary, you're kind of coming and going with it. I don't know whether that's by now or later on, but I think I've maybe seen some tweets that are not kind of happy with the kind of later towards the end stuff, but I'm really enjoying it. The gameplay, it's funny. I play it for the story, but I do enjoy the kind of combat stuff. There's times where I wish I didn't have to have another fight. When you because if you, I'm not going to say anything at all. Actually, just when you're getting to a place and you can see that you're not quite there yet, and you know you're going to have another kind of standard patrol that you're going to have to get around, whether you get around it stealthily or just guns blazing or whatever. There was maybe once or twice that I kind of wished I didn't have to do that I could just then get to the story. Which I kind of sums me up as a gamer, I suppose, is that I'm enjoying it for the story and I'm not desperate to have so much gameplay of it. That's a funny thing because I do like it. I just feel that it was maybe a wee bit wash, rinse, repeat for a wee while.
Daybreak's wondering. She says too many baddies. Sometimes she watched all of Gary's stream, so
yeah, it was just at some places it's one too many set pieces. It's not even a set piece. It's one too many location. If you know what I mean.
I would say now, as far as I'm aware, there's a whole load of those that you actually can sneak your way past. As far as I'm aware,
you say that, but I'm like, how?
Well, that's one thing. That is one thing. I didn't sneak past any. I fought every single person. I think it's a kind of thing because the AI is vastly improved in the game. Vastly improved. So much so, and this is a very minor sort of spoilery thing, or more of a tense. At one point, I was hiding in a room, and I heard the guy talking about the fact I was up in a room. I ran up and hid under the bed in the room, and I could see the guy's feet as he was watching for me around the room, and I started to climb out of the way. The guy grabbed me from under the bed and pulled me out, and I got the fright of my life. Right? The AI is astonishing at times.
What I love about the AI is that it's not just a case of a patrol in that this person goes to here, then he goes to there, then he goes to there. It's the randomness of them looking behind them every now and again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll walk away from their spot that they've kind of been at, but then they'll have a wee look over their shoulder just as you're running up to them.
Oh,
See, I found they did the lather, rinse, repeat pattern. Even the looks over the shoulder, they happened on cue every time.
Oh, I've not noticed that.
And then, like, I was, like, when I was playing it, sometimes I felt, even when you drop into an area, the enemy's magnetised towards you, even if you've never made a noise. And I was getting a bit frustrated at that at times. I was like, how is that? I've just literally appeared and they're all, like, there was nowhere for me to try and crawl and hide. I was like, a rat in a cage. I was like, my God.
The one thing I would suggest, and this is again spoilery, there is certain points when people are looking for you, so I suppose it would make sense that they might go in the general direction of where you're coming from. That might not be specifically the situation you're talking about. I never really It never, but I like to fight in games. I kind of want them to come to me, so it was never an issue for me. I was like, good, they're coming here. That saves me having to go to them. I'll kill them from here. Yeah, I mean, Paolo, your issue might also be you're playing it on hard, aren't you? Which might also make the combat a bit more difficult. It might make them find you a bit easier. I think the game's pretty much a masterpiece. I really do. I think it is astonishing. I possibly think it's a little bit too long. However, I was more or less always delighted there was more. It's more as I think back now, but as I'm already thinking back, just talking to you guys here, I'm thinking of bits in the game going, well, I don't think I would want to cut that bit. I don't think I would want to cut that bit. So it might have been to do with the pace that I was playing it at as well.
Mhm.
So maybe
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm partially responsible for that as well. I think, as Paulo says, the tension is incredible at points. Like, and it's a bleak game. It's a tough game, and there are points where you kind of want to put. I think that'll do me for tonight. You know.
Mhm.
It's just wonderful. There's some incredible moments in it. It's got a really interesting sort of genre shift at one point where it really does move a little bit. It becomes quite kind of horror-y. And I just think pretty much everything it does to such a high level. And Gary's right. The level design is amazing because there's one particular part that I was looking out going, this is massive. I'm going to get lost here. And I found my way exactly where I was meant to do it. It's all these sort of subconscious cues that you're picking up, whether you know it or not. And there really is very, very few. I think the only person I would say is probably Rockstar. There's not really many devs out there who are really able to create worlds on this sort of level, you know?
It looks stunning. It looks unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It's so pretty, and so grotesquely pretty.
An interesting. Sorry, mate.
No. I was just going to say.
As you were saying, sorry.
It's a lovely tie-in for the first game as well. It's got the same aesthetic, but at the end of another console generation, it's got that real pizzazz on it.
Mm-hmm. The world's evolved as well. More time has passed, and it's got that whole feeling of nature taking back over humanity and all that sort of stuff. And the concrete buildings are now covered in moss and things like that. And I just thought it was really good. And I tried to articulate this the other day with the Laura Bailey thing, and I said, was The Last of Us 2 the game that I wanted it to be? Was it the game I expected it to be? And it possibly wasn't, but I loved it and I thought it was amazing. And I'm glad that it wasn't quite what I hoped it was going to be. I'm glad that they took it in a different direction because it was much more of a surprise and much more of a journey for what they did with it. And I genuinely think it's incredible.
Yeah.
I can tell that we're going to really have a big. I mean, I'm already can't wait to have a proper spoilery discussion about this at some point.
I can't feel it. I can't say anything without feeling that I'm going to spoil something.
Yeah, but I think we've avoided all the stuff. We will get back into it. Let us know your spoiler free opinions by all means in the chat. Okay, Gary. You have been playing a lot of games.
I have.
You've moved to full-time streaming on Blunderboy 87.
Yeah.
You've got your summer schedule. You're doing 10 to kind of 4 each day, roughly?
Yeah, 10 to 4 roughly. Sometimes it runs over if I'm doing a marathon and I'm slower than I thought I'd be.
Now, obviously, we don't want you to list every game because that'll be a lot. But what are the ones that have really, really jumped out at you?
So there's been a few highlights. The first highlight has been Subnautica. Now it's interesting because Subnautica has been on my radar for like 2 years. I remember picking up the case for the PS4 and GeForce. RIP.
GeForce.
I know, GeForce. And looking at it and thinking, I don't know if I'd like this kind of game, and putting it back. And then the other week, I was watching Luke Boogie on stream and he was playing it. And I was like, oh no, that does look fun. And it was in sale. Thank you, Steam sale. So which I've spent so much money on the past 2 weeks. So downloaded it, installed it, and you know it's been great. It's like my equivalent of your Stranded Deep, Colin. Stranded Deep for me is just a bit too realistic, and I think I said that when I'm watching it one day. For me, it's just the right level of fantasy meets realism meets stupidly bright colours. It's quite easy to play. Just now you can see I'm doing the crafting menu stuff. So basically, your spaceship crashes in a planet that's all water, and you have to survive. And you've just got your wee escape pod, and you jump out into the ocean and you go. But there's a story which I like. In that escape pod, there's a radio station or a radio beacon, and you get messages. Oh, that's there. That's just I'm looking at it now. And you get messages, and it gives you waypoints of other survivors, and you've got to go trying to meet them. And as you go, you scan objects for research to start building your underwater base. And it's just great. It's terrifying at times. I played in Mindful Monday thinking I was going to be super chill. Oh, I was wrong. There's like so you can catch fish and eat them, and then there's fish that try and catch you and eat you. But no, it's great. You can drown, so Colin, you'll be happy. I have drowned a few times because I forget when I'm in a cave looking for stuff, and then everyone's like, "Your oxygen," and I'm like, "Oh no, I forgot."
That happens, man. It happens.
But you know, I've been loving it. I'm dying to go back to it because I've only been playing it on a Monday. And on Monday there, I just started constructing my underwater base. So I think I'm going to play it off stream and build the rest of my base. And then when I go back on Monday, be like, look, it's my palace. But no, if you're into like the survival games, like Stranded Deep or The Forest, it's that kind of similar aspect, but it's just a wee bit more story driven. And it's just because it's underwater, it just feels so different because you're just floating everywhere.
It has.
You know, it's great.
It has been appealing to me. I have to say, a lot of people mentioned it to me when I was deep in the Stranded Deep hole.
Mm-hmm.
And
Stranded Deep hole.
Stranded deep in the deep. No, never mind. And yeah, it does look good. It really does look good. I caught a little bit. I was streaming myself on Monday afternoon, so I only caught a wee bit of you playing it right at the start. But yeah, it does look good.
I have to apologise, Gary. The clip I've selected is maybe not the most interesting clip to watch.
So this is what kind of rushing. I think this is. If you look at my face, you can see me going, "What do I need to build that? What do I need to build that?" Because at one point you need to make like silicon webbing, and I couldn't figure out how to make it. And then someone in the chat helpfully was like, "Do this," and I was like, it was. They were like, "You kept swimming by it." And I was been dying to tell you, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm going to it eventually." But you lose time to it. It's one of those games you just lose so much time to. But it's gorgeous. It does look stunning. And at nighttime, when it goes dark, everything under the water lights up. So all the plants and all the sea creatures gain this like UV illumination, and it looks amazing at night. But it's fantastic. So that's been one of my big highlights. The other game that's been sucking up all my time is Dead by Daylight.
Oh, yeah. You like the Dead by Daylight?
Which is very unexpected because we've tried it before.
We've tried it multiple times.
We've tried it multiple times, and it's thanks to again Original Steven. Original Steven streams this, and he's so funny. If you want horror comedy, watch him when he streams. It's just I sit and chuckle the whole time. But I was watching him play it, and I downloaded it about a month ago and not touched it. And they've really, it feels different. And I think I was saying this to you, Colin. It feels different to when we first played it. Yeah. It's got a longevity. There's more characters. There's me gobbing all over someone. It's just, it feels more fun to play than it used to. And even though you're still just doing the generators, I understand the game more now, and it's maybe because I've watched people on Twitch. So, like, I do need to heal people. I can do distractions. Like, when I was playing, I'm playing this killer just now. When you see those orange bubbles, it's people vaulting, and they were distracting me from other bits of the map. And eventually I clocked on and was like, oh, wait, no, I need to do something different now. So the strategy behind it feels very different. And unlike in Friday the 13th, the killers still feel terrifying.
Yeah,
the killers feel strong, like you feel like a badass when you finally get someone. It's like Scary Tig. That's how you describe it. Scary Tig.
Yeah.
But like whack. There we go. It's just I love it.
Just scalping people in the face with a big lantern.
Yeah, or not Scepter or Cypher or something. But it's just I don't know. It just feels different. I mean, Steven said the way you describe it is you play it the first time, you find it boring. You go back the second time a few months later, and you think, was I really missing anything? And then the third time you go back, you go, oh my god, this game's amazing. And like they gave out because it's our 4th year anniversary, they gave out 444,444 bonus blood points.
Ooh.
So everyone's been able to like level up characters quickly. There's Gato that boosts. So if all 5 players put in a Gato, you get 500% bonus multiplier. So you're leaving matches with lots of blood points.
Well,
but it's just it's got its hooks in me, and I'm just I'm up till like 2 a.m. like
that wee pun.
People. Oh, it was a wee pun. But no, it's just if it's. I'd say maybe go back and give it another shot if it's something you've tried and tried again. And they're bringing crossplay out. Although they're starting to look into crossplay.
Oh, I like crossplay.
That would be good.
It's in its beta just now for Xbox and PCs working together, but they're hoping that then they can get PS4 and Switch added to it.
Brilliant.
And I was reading that they're hopefully your character progress will go across all your versions. So all my PC progress will carry to the PS4 version.
Brilliant.
I mean that's crucial, really, isn't it? You know, because there's no point in spending all that time. Why would you play it on PS4 if you're going to lose all your progress? Crossplay should be convenient, not an inconvenience.
Yeah,
and it seems to be getting they've definitely got their eye on the ball, and they're supporting it continually with new killers, new survivors, tweaks and new perks, and it just feels like it's got a real longevity to it, which it was maybe lacking when we first played. I think when we first played it was still a wee bit, this is something new, and then no, but no, totally enraptured in it.
I don't know. I don't know if it would change it dramatically. I would like more game modes, but I think the danger is that you sort of would lose the game. I think if you had too many, you dilute it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You also
it's amazing how the games feel different. And again, I don't know if it's the players are better or I don't know. It's so hard to describe the difference it feels to when we first played it. But yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I love bashing people over the head with things. I like playing Survivor as well, but the killer I've been playing for 2 days and I'm loving it. It's very good for stress relief. And the final thing I'm doing is my Throwback Thursdays, and it's just been lovely revisiting PS1 games. PS1 and PS2 games that I've not touched in years. So we were looking last week. We're kind of looking at 3 games a day, which we're trying to. So last week we looked at Fear Effect, Galerians, and something else. Oh, Duke Nukem. Oh, that was an experience. And I kind of gave a wee mini review, and then the viewers were like, "Oh, can we play a bit more of that next week?" So this week we continued Fear Effect, and we started PS2 game Shadow Hearts. And it's just nice because going back and looking at where gaming started for me and seeing how it's advanced, Diet Punk brought up this a big conversation today about how technology's jumped so much. But there still is appreciation for those classic games, and it's nice hearing people's stories about the games and if they've played them. So yeah, Throwback Thursdays have been a massive highlight for me as well.
Excellent.
Nice.
Paolo, what about yourself? What have you been playing?
Well, in the Sunday Social, I decided to play Firewatch, which is a game that I've always kind of fancied. It's always been on the radar, and I've just never quite found the time. But I really like the art style and all that, and I thought, do you know what, that might fit in nicely with the Sunday Social. It's got a lovely palette to it. It's quite an open doorsy game, which is always good for Sundays, and it's got a nice wee story. And I thought, How Long to Beat said it would take about 4.5 hours. So I thought, well, I might be able to do it in the one stream. Obviously, at Paolo pace, it's a wee bit slower, but but as you quite rightly said on the stream, it's a wee bit darker than I thought. It's a wee bit darker than I thought. It's fine and it's still suitable, but it is a bit more serious, a wee bit more more drama than I'm used to on a Sunday.
And it does get a bit darker towards the end as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. Paolo, sorry, I almost interrupted you there, but I feel the need to tell you that it's the Sunday Social in association with the Good Coffee Cartel.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Okay.
Indeed it is.
You get the title correct, Paolo.
But it's a lovely game. It's really nice. As I say, I love the palette. I think that the colouring's great and the art style of it's brilliant. It's really intriguing me. It's as I say, the story has kind of taken a turn that I didn't see coming. But it's very nice. It's still very Sunday Social. It's a nice pace to it. Even though there is a bit of drama to it, it's still kind of outdoorsy, as I say. And it's good fun. And we'll be finishing it this Sunday. And it's quite nice because you say it gets darker a wee bit later on, but it means we can finish it and then move on to something a bit brighter again and a bit more upbeat and just keep going.
This bit looks pure creepy, Paul.
What was funny was Bry2208 was watching it and he was completely in the wind up that it was a horror game, which it's got a kind of creepy feel to it in places, but he was going full pelt as in this is a Blair Witch game kind of thing, which at this point and specifically is very Blair Witchy looking. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I played it a number of years ago. And I really liked it. It's not really the sort of game I usually play, but I was quite taken in by the story of it. It was quite chilled, and me and Sherry Bobbin sat and played pretty much through it. I think we maybe played through it in a night, but it definitely is longer. It's definitely longer than 4 hours.
I mean, I could see how you could do it in one sitting. You know what I'm like, though. I kind of get distracted by wee things.
Yeah. It's very good. It's a real example of really interesting storytelling through the game and the way they do it, the way the story unfolds, and the sort of way it makes you question who you trust. And
I like that.
It's that sort of unreliable narrator as well, because you don't really know if you trust yourself. And I think it's really nicely done. It's really worth playing. And I'm looking forward to seeing the concluding part on the Sunday Social.
But apart from that, it's the only other game worth mentioning is one that we've played together, Colin.
Yes. So, shall we do that, or will we talk about my games and come back to that? What do you think?
It's up to you. You're the boss. You're in control.
Let me jump in with some of the games I've been playing, and
sure.
we'll finish talking about a certain game. Okay, so the first game I would like to talk about is Dark Souls Remastered. I've been playing that on stream. It was the one Dark Souls game I had never played. Well, there's a slight caveat. I played a tiny bit of it ages ago. I think it was about the time I got my PS4. My mate Ali gave me a loan of Dark Souls and said, "You'll like this game." I was already on PS4. This was not a great looking game on PS3, and jumping down to the PS3 from the PS4 and playing Dark Souls, I was a bit like, this looks terrible. And then I almost immediately got killed, and I was a bit like, I can't understand this. I don't get this game. I don't, and I pretty much stopped playing it almost immediately. I think I got to about the first or second bonfire, and that was it. And I just couldn't get it. And it always sort of sat uneasily with me because people always talked about Dark Souls. So when Dark Souls 2 came out on PS4, I thought, I'm going to get that and give it a go. And I fell in love with Dark Souls 2. I loved it. And it's actually the kind of least popular one as it stands. A lot of people don't particularly like it. But yeah, I really like Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne. I've done the whole lot of Sekiro, everything like that. But I'd never played the original Dark Souls. So I went back to it. And I am loving it. I am absolutely loving it. I have to say, I am amazed at how much sort of finesse and how much, as you play the later games, you think, oh, they must have. If I go back, there's going to be loads missing from the first one. Loads of things that have just almost like quality of life sort of things or something. Like it's just going to be much. It's going to be a much harder experience. No, and it seems like a lot of the real pure Dark Souls experience they had right from the very start. And maybe I've not played Demon Souls, which obviously is the sort of spiritual predecessor to it. So maybe it's a bit more rough around the edges. I'm looking forward to that coming out on PS5. But yeah, it just feels like a very pure Dark Souls. And I've been getting ably assisted by my lovely folks in the chat, mainly Not Your Studio and MJ Plays Games, who have been my Dark Souls Gandalfs, who have been helping me.
Plays Games is a goddess. I could never play Dark Souls when she was in the same room as me.
She's obsessed with it. She's absolutely obsessed with MJ.
You're right. Every time I try to capture a piece of gaming footage for this tonight, it's just peppered with you stopping playing and speaking to loads of people.
Yeah. Well, we weren't just asking advice. We were having quite a good chat.
No.
But it's quite a good game because you can sort of play it at your own pace. It is brutally hard. I got off to a really good start, actually. I think a lot of people... So we've got a death counter on the chat, and everyone was sort of like, oh, he's going to die 100 times. He's going to die 100 times tonight. I died 24 times in the first stream. 24 times in a 4-hour stream. And I could tell everyone was a wee bit disappointed. They were like, oh. I pretty much doubled that in the second stream. No bother at all. It's got considerably harder now. So yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. That'll probably be my Tuesday night game for the foreseeable, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm stuck at a boss right now, so we'll see how it goes.
Lovely.
The other thing I've been playing was a little bit of Link to the Past, Zelda. I'll be continuing that Friday morning. That's a game that always passed me by and always really wanted to play. I've been loving it. It's amazingly deep, and the size of it is massive, and it's just absolute Nintendo goodness. Really, we talk about this regularly, but nobody really makes a game like Nintendo. And it's really good. So I've been enjoying that. But the main event this week, Captain Shambles got into the mediocrity and set sail on the Sea of Thieves. I'd been sort of playing this and messing about with it, and I kind of wanted to have a shot of it, and we kind of thought about maybe playing it. We ended up playing it on Paolo's stream on Friday.
Yeah.
We ended up playing it on the Nearly Men channel on Monday night. Had an amazing night. Got 2 massive raids.
Yeah.
Shout out to Foxday and to Shumba. It was quite amazing having over 100 viewers at one point.
Yeah.
And they hung about. Shumba even ended up in the... I liked Shumba's mention in the rap.
Oh, yes.
Shumba will
he is a producer of the show.
Yeah, he is indeed a producer of the show. Yeah. I mean, I've just been having a whale of a time with it. I've been having a whale. We had some technical issues. We did have some technical issues on my stream last night. I'm not exactly sure what the issue was.
Colin was the issue, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I still don't know what the problem was with my mic, though.
That was odd, yeah.
But yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with that.
It is addictive.
It is so addictive, isn't it? It's so addictive.
I mean, even to the point where on the stream last night, we did one of the Tall Tales, which is the kind of story version, the story missions in the game. Few and far between kind of thing. And we'd already did it on Monday night, we'd done it already. But we thought we had to do it again, but we didn't. But anyway, that's beside the point. So we did it again, and in the upshot, the end of the quest is you get that face going, Colin. At the end of the quest, you get like a wee idol, a wee kind of Indiana Jones idol, and you take that back to a pirate on another island, basically, quite far away. And we go away and in the ship and sail away. We get to the mysterious stranger, and I said, right, so you give him the Shroudbreaker, then you give him the idol. And Colin's like that. What idol? What Shroudbreaker? Because if you get something like this, one of the kind of quest items, you can't put it in your pocket, you've got to hold on to it. But if you start fighting, you'll just drop it. So Colin had fought these skeletons and dropped this thing. And we had to go all the way back. We
sailed across the entire ocean.
My point is, as funny as that was, and as funny as it was winding Colin up, It ruined my night. It was just still so much fun to get back on the ship and
we had to
get
go
the sails
whole way
down
back
and go
to
all
get
the way
it.
back over. And even the fun fact of getting on the island and saying, is this still going to be here? Where is it? And we had to find it in the sand.
And we did. We found it. A special moment as well, which I loved, was Colshare, who was in the chat earlier on, who was sort of guiding us. Colshare came on one of either the Foxday or the Shumba raid, and has followed the channel and stuck with us most of the night.
Yeah.
And turned to us at one point and turned to us in the chat and said, "Somehow in my soul, I knew this would happen." And I was like, no. And it was that bit in Train Spotting when Begbie turns to Johnny Lee Miller, to Sick Boy, and says, "Did you bring the cards?" And I was saying, "Well, why didn't you bring them, Paolo?"
But I mean, it's so much fun. Even just getting in a boat and playing about with the sails, and last night we got attacked by a ship, and it was that we were never going to beat it, so we had to patch ourselves up enough to get escape, and it was just so much fun. It
is an astonishingly fun game. I don't know many games where teamwork is so important.
Yeah.
There's so many jobs to do, and actually, I went on today and had a muck about just to have a look and see if it's even possible to run a sloop on your own, the small ship.
Yeah.
And I mean, in theory, it's kind of, but I mean, if you had any problems, you're in real trouble.
That's the thing. You can sail it, but
too many jobs to do.
You can't defend it.
No. But boy, am I loving it. It looks fun. Gorgeous. It's vast. And a shout out to the Sea of Thieves community, Paolo. What are they like? I mean,
very welcoming, very nice and friendly. And it is the thing of if you meet someone in game, they could very easily just destroy you, especially us who are new to it and don't know the deal. And it is that fear of when you approach like an island and there's a ship docked, you've got that fear of, oh my god, are they going to kill us?
Their ship's bigger than us.
But we had a moment just so friendly.
Right at the end of the stream where we are coming along and we're sitting there going, uh-oh, there's a guy just standing there on the beach, and he was just looking at us, and we had so much expensive stuff on our ship that we wanted to sell, and we're like, and there was only two of us. We're like, well, we can't defend the ship. We're going to have to go off, and we're like, oh, this is going to be a problem. What's going to happen here?
Yeah.
We were too busy panicking about what to do. I'm basically ran the ship aground, right? Sprung a leak. And it was your fault. I was too busy watching the guy try to work out what he was going to do. He suddenly moves into action and starts coming towards the ship. And I was like, oh God, we're under attack. And I'm getting the gun and all that. He runs past me, grabs a plank, comes out and repaired our ship on the outside. I couldn't believe it. I was like, thank you. And thank you for not stealing our whole evening's worth of spoils.
Yes, indeed.
So it was just brilliant. I am loving it, and I can fully see us playing some more of that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's great. It's really nice to have a game where, it's kind of ones, but let's get the crew together and let's go and do this, I see in the chat, I did somewhat miss this out, and I did forget about this because PTSD and all that. I died in Stranded Deep. The dude has died. I was fighting the eel, and I kid you not, there is a clip in the Discord, on my stream channel in the Discord. I got down to I was fighting the eel, and I kid you not, you will see it, he is down to no health. One hit, and I'll kill him. And essentially, I'm at the same situation, and he bit me first and killed me. Permadeath, gone. The dude, he took down the Meg, as Nat Pacino said. He nearly took down the eel as well, and now he's dead. I was absolutely heartbroken. I'm sitting there going, oh man, what am I going to do now? Stranded Saturday, all that sort of stuff. What am I going to do? Do you know what? I've had a couple of days to think it over. And Saturday night, we ride again. We're going back. I don't know who. We're going to have to decide who the new survivor is, but we are going to complete this game one of these days. It's just one of those games that's just really got its hooks in me. It's been great on stream. I've had so much time to chat to folk. Lots of folk coming in to check out the game, to ask me questions about the game, ask me opinions in the game, to help me out with things in the game. It's just got a really vibrant, quite a small community, but a really vibrant community, and I'm loving it. I think Stranded Deep's a great game. But I've talked enough about that. I really have. Gary, the viewers have been in touch. What have they been playing?
Have indeed. So we've got a few comments of what they've been playing. So Bri2208 says they've been playing mostly Tabletop Simulator as lots of cards and board games on it.
It's great. I think it's on sale as well. It's like £7.50 or something.
On Steam. And then James A42 says, got the Platinum for Maneater, which is a miracle for me. Played a wee bit of Warzone and from PS Now, Infinite Mini Golf. Now just patiently waiting for Ghost of Tsushima.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
I need to finish The Last of Us before Ghost of Tsushima comes out and I'm in trouble.
I'll need to sell a kidney or something.
I know. I'm trying, Colin. I'm trying.
Nats Pacino says, I have been playing the first Last of Us. Still, I'm so bad at it, lol. Also, thanks to Paolo's Sunday socials, I've got hooked on Minecraft. Need to catch more of Gary's streams as I love horror and want to add some more games to my library. Nats Pacino, well, I can dish all the dirt on horror games for you. Don't you worry, pal.
Nat Pacino is a real spread across the Nearly Men. She loves Stranded Deep.
Excuse me?
She loves the Sunday socials, and now she's getting into Gary's horror. You know what I mean? What a supporter.
She's it's Lady Pacino producer to you.
Sorry.
And Dancing Toast has been in touch saying, considering purchasing the remaster of Nathan Drake Collection and playing the Uncharted games again. And that's that. That's all our listeners.
Excellent. We've had a few wee comments in the chat as well. I might as well shout them out while we can. Where is it?
See if you're going to say things that I've already noted for later on.
Oh, have you noted them? Then that's fine.
It just depends. Just depends, mate. Just depends what it is.
Yeah, believe it. Believe it now. Okay, so we've got some new releases. We have got some new releases. I would like to have palmed this off to Paolo, but I think I'm meant to do this bit. So
I'll do it if you want.
Before I do that, though, I forgot. I do need to let you know, as you said, all of our lovely podcast listeners and all our wonderful viewers, we can't do the show without you guys, and hearing from you all is really important. So if you want to get in touch, here's how you do it.
We'd love to hear from you. Find us on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram, where we are at Nearly Men, or email info@thenearlymen.com.
Off you go.
Okay, so let's do the new releases. Don't worry, Paolo, I will do them. I'll do them.
That's fine. I'm pressing about 50 million buttons here.
You do all your buttons.
Bouncing about all the place.
Okay, so first of all, 10th of July. When's that? Is that tomorrow? That's tomorrow. 10th of July, we've got budget cuts coming to PSVR. That's from Perp Games. We've got Sword Art Online. It's coming to PS4, PC, and Xbox One. That's also tomorrow. Tomorrow, we also have F1 2020. That's coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia. Lol. I know. Deadly Premonition 2, A Blessing in Disguise. That's out on the Twitch tomorrow. Gary's excited about that one. Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. That's also out on the Twitch tomorrow. Then on the 14th, when's that? That's Monday. On the 14th, we've got Neon Abyss. That's coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. That's from our wonderful friends, Team 17. You just know that's going to be a good game. Team 17 don't make bad games. Death Stranding. Death Stranding is coming to PC on Monday.
The Nearly Men's joint game of the year last year.
Yes, I wasn't thrilled about that, but I never played it. Hunting Simulator 2 is coming out on the 16th of July. That is for PC. Radical Rabbit Stew. It's nice that those are listed together. Radical Rabbit Stew is coming on the 16th as well. So you could get that. I don't know, maybe there's some sort of bundle you could do with that. That's coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. The Persistence is out on the 17th of July. That's PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Paper Mario, the Origami King, is coming to Switch on the 17th of July.
Oh my gosh, that's out so soon. I did not know.
Gary's going to run out of games. Gary's going to run out of money. There is another game. We aforementioned it. It's coming out. Oh, it's not far away now. It's not far away.
Days.
So what is that? A week, basically. Just over a week. A week tomorrow. A week tomorrow. Ghost of Tsushima is coming to PS4. honestly, what a summer Sony are having. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this looks amazing. Sucker punches, samurai, sort of ninja, sort of open world. Oh, it just looks incredible.
Excited?
I'm very excited about it. In the Radius, it's coming to PC. That's on the 20th of July. And then we've got Rock of Ages 3 Make and Break. That's coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia. LOL. That's on the 21st. And finally, Made of Scare is coming to PS4 and Xbox One. That's on the 24th of July. So yeah, that's your new releases.
Beautiful. I quite liked how you sidestepped. I don't know if you noticed this, Gary, on the script. The second game, Sword Art Online, has got a colon and then and more of the name. And Colin just sidestepped that there.
I noticed Colin did. If it was me, I would have given my best shot.
You would have given it a go, Gary. You would have given it a go live on air. You would have just bashed it out.
I can tell you, it's Alicization like Horus.
Yeah, that's
there
what
you
I was
go.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what? Literally, that was not on purpose. I didn't even see it.
It's underlined with 2 red squiggles, of course you saw it. Lies.
Right, how do I mute Gary? Yeah. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Paolo, there has been some questions from the chat. Would you like to take us through them?
Well, it wasn't questions. I was just kind of noting down a couple of things people had said. Bry2208 was when you were talking about Last of Us 2. He was saying that what he's played so far is good, but he can't play too much of it because he feels too bleak after work. I can understand that. As you said, you go, that's enough for tonight. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
He also says that Last of Us may be abandoned to play Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know if I could abandon Last of Us to play Ghost of Tsushima, but I really hope I finish Last of Us before Ghost of Tsushima. I don't think I'll start.
I would not recommend abandoning The Last of Us 2. No. I would just get the head down and get on with it. I promise you. Even if it feels bleak bright, it's definitely worth playing.
I think even if it means I wait a week to start Ghost of Tsushima, I'll be happy with that, I think. Sherry Bobbins was also saying that she loved watching Colin play Last of Us 2. It was like watching a live action drama.
Yes, which we had to binge because I was not allowed to play it on my own.
Outrageous.
She didn't want to miss any of it, so we had to play it all. But it was wonderful, and it's that sort of quality. It is like the best sort of like Netflix sort of like TV show. There's that sort of level, and it's amazing the huge improvement in voice acting and video game mocap and all that, and just the way that games are written these days. I think the majority of you remember back in the day, there were certain games that were well written, but the majority were terribly written. Whereas now, I think it's coming a bit more the other way, where the majority of games of a certain level are reasonably well written and performed. The problems are usually elsewhere. I just thought it was magic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Daybreak was my Sherry Bobbins because she was there for every stream. Daybreak and Diet Punk were there for every stream, so me and Daybreak did the whole chatting thing as the game was going on. So that was it is quite good when you get someone to kind of talk to while you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is honestly it's the sort of game where you kind of wish you could sit somebody down who doesn't really get video games and just go look, or maybe somebody that's a bit dismissive of video games and go, just look at this. Just look at this. I mean, it's so impressive.
Imagine you took someone from whatever it was, 1976 or whatever it was, who was playing Pong, and they were like, "Oh, this is a video game, right? Okay." Well, imagine you took them and then fast forward and put them in front of The Last of Us 2.
I don't know, Paul. Tell us, how does that feel?
Son of a gun. Hang on. How does it work this here? Just Gary off. There we go. Right, that's Gary gone. Gary's now.
There we go.
Gary's. He's now a previous man rather than a nearly man.
It just looks like a really sore pimple. Oh, he's back. Yeah, it was it was good. It was good. Okay, so I think we're kind of wrapping up here. We have some streams coming up. Don't forget tomorrow night Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. we'll be on. All three Nearly Men will be in our glad rags, and we're going to do a Twitch Sings party. So, make sure to get your songs in. Make sure to get your duets recorded. If you've got a Twitch account, you can pre-record them, and we will. And if you let us know in the chat, we will sing along with you. Yeah, be sure to join us for it. It will be a lot of fun. Gary's are a lot of fun. We will endeavour to try and achieve something of a similar level of quality. It probably won't happen, but I don't have a disco ball. Gary does. I don't.
Oh yeah, it's the noisiest disco ball ever. When I changed my mic placement and then did a recording to make sure it was working, and all you hear was that's getting moved.
Excellent. So yeah, that's tomorrow night. Monday, Paul, what are you doing on Monday?
I think I will begin something new. Something that will play over a number of weeks, continual. I don't know exactly what it will be yet. It probably won't be Uncharted before anyone mentions it, but we'll play something.
Okay, good. I'm going to be there Wednesday night. That's 8 p.m. I also haven't really. I don't know what I'm playing. So do let us know in the Discord. If you're not already, do join the Discord. It's in the chat there, and there's a stream request channel there. You can let us know. Let us know what you'd like to see us play. Because one of the things with streaming is it's difficult. It's really difficult to decide on a game. It's there. I got some lovely help. Not Your Studio and Bri both gave me lots of different games. I might dip into one of those on the list, but by all means, let us know what to play. And then Gary does know what he's playing next Friday. What are you playing, Gary?
So last Friday I started Bayonetta, and for those who joined in, you'll have noticed I was dressed as Boyanetta.
In a magnificent cosplay.
Oh yeah, stunning. I'm going to go for her in the live action movie, and I'm pretty sure I'll nail it just in looks alone. So Friday the 16th of July, I'm going to continue the original Bayonetta and finish it off. That should last the stream. And then if I can get a dock for my Switch, I might play Bayonetta 2 after that. So, which is just as fabulous as the first one. So if you're ready to slap some angels on Friday the 16th of July, you know where to go.
Super. All right, so that sort of concludes things. Now we of course had our wonderful producer rap at the start of the show. Paolo is not; he's refusing to do it again.
It's a one-time only situation.
So I am going to give a shout out to all of our wonderful producers. One of which is just celebrating their anniversary as well on their Twitch sub anniversary, which is of course the Wee Maverick. Subscribed for 2 months. Thank you very much, Wee Maverick. So thank you so much. As I said, if you subscribe to the channel, you will become one of our podcast producers, and you, if you subscribe, will get pride of place in the middle of my producer rap, which I will be doing on the next episode. At the moment,
we could just accompany you if you want.
You could accompany me.
Yeah.
Could you? Yeah. No, I don't think that would help.
Oh dear.
I don't think that would help. So you've not got long before the next episode to get in. There will be a cut off because I'm going to have to write this at some point. But a shout out to all of our wonderful producers. We love you all. And here they are: Sherry Bobbins 09, John O'Rocks 21, Daybreak 1591, Baker Boy 32, Dancing Toaster, Aaron G Spots 21. I said his name correct this time. Ride or Die 2610, Bell 4717, Segi 67, Arcade Glasgow, Nat Pacino, Jose Keenan 1888, Joe Keenan. Not done that in a while. Wobble 362, Niven 1987, X Shumba X. He's got X's out of time, but it's Shumba. Venom MDK, Antonio 535 Pro, Andy McG 303, Gavin Alaff, Wapiti, Brumundrum. Yeah, this was difficult. Tatana, Enemy Huge, Abrias, Hezabeam, Vardkin, T-Crew 87, Luke Boogie, Original Stephen, Bry 2208, Brother Jacob, Kim A.H. Smith, and the Wee Maverick.
Beautiful.
There we are. So
thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, you wonderful producers. It really does mean a lot. Right. So I don't think there's much else to say, boys. But yeah, I think we'll get ourselves out of here. Those in the chat, you know what to do. Stick around. But I think all that's left to say is a huge thank you to everyone for joining us tonight, and a huge thank you to my wonderful fellow Nearly Men. Blunderboy87, Gary Hogg, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Mr. Paul Kaczynski, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And it's a goodbye for me. See you next time.